Imagine sitting in a cafe. You order a simple cup of coffee. The barista places it in front of you and calmly says, "You have 40 seconds. After that, it's ruined." This isn't a social media stunt. This isn't a marketing trick. In some experimental cafes in China, coffee is being served in a cup chilled to nearly 200 degrees Celsius. And once it reaches your table, the countdown begins. This trend blends science, performance, and psychology into a single drink. Because this isn't just about caffeine, it's about temperature, chemistry, and urgency. Before the coffee is brewed, a metal cup is treated with liquid nitrogen, a substance cold enough to reach around 196 C. Liquid nitrogen is so cold that it instantly creates thick white vapor when exposed to air. Once the cup reaches extreme sub-zero temperature, thick milk is poured inside. Then, freshly brewed coffee follows. The reaction is immediate. The super-cold surface shocks the liquid. The outer layer rapidly chills. A delicate, creamy texture forms almost instantly. It looks dramatic. It feels futuristic. But it's unstable. Cafe staff give customers a strict instruction: drink it within 40 seconds. The entire experience depends on temperature contrast. The inside of the drink remains warm, while the layer touching the frozen metal thickens and partially cools. As the cup slowly warms toward room temperature, the structure begins to collapse. The foam loses its density. The texture changes. The carefully engineered sensation disappears. After 40 seconds, it's just coffee again. Scientifically, this effect is linked to rapid cryogenic cooling. When a warm liquid meets an extremely cold surface, heat transfers instantly. Milk proteins react to the sudden temperature difference, creating microtextures along the contact layer. The result is a sip that feels thicker than a latte and smoother than a cappuccino, with an unusual layered sensation. Cold against your lips. Warm underneath. It isn't frozen coffee. It's controlled thermal contrast, a balance that only exists for a short window of time. Of course, working with liquid nitrogen isn't without risk. If consumed directly, it can cause severe internal damage. In these cafes, nitrogen is used only to chill the cup, not as an ingredient. By the time the drink is served, the nitrogen has evaporated. Still, this process requires training and precision. At temperatures near 200 degrees, small mistakes can have serious consequences. But the real question is not about safety. It's about psychology. Why would someone choose a drink with a timer attached? Because today, people don't just buy products. They buy experiences. The vapor effect, the dramatic presentation, the pressure of a ticking clock. 40 seconds creates urgency. Urgency creates excitement. Excitement creates a story worth sharing. In the age of social media, a normal coffee is forgettable. A 40-second coffee is not. This trend reflects something bigger happening around the world. Food is no longer just about flavor. It's about performance, visual impact, emotional reaction. Technology is reshaping even the most ordinary rituals of daily life. A cup is no longer just a container. It becomes a stage. Steam rises. A timer starts. Eyes focus. And for a brief moment, you are not just drinking coffee. You are participating in an experiment, one where time itself is part of the recipe. 40 seconds. Do you sip slowly and risk losing the texture? Or rush, knowing that once the temperature changes, the magic disappears? Because in this cafe, time is not just passing. It's melting.